we wanted to get a little bit more tactical here today, guys. This is Andy and I here. I know that our last episode, at the time that you listen to this, you probably listened to maybe part of it, but probably not the whole 2+ hours. So we wanted to kind of dive in, go a little bit rapid fire on individual topics. So we'll have a little series here. First thing we're going to jump into is chiropractic, what it is, what it's not, what it can do, what it's supposed to help you with, what nonsense you should avoid when a chiropractor says something to you. And also on the same side, understanding when a chiropractor is the best person to go see, regardless of what your physician, your physical therapist, your mom, your brother, or Facebook says, right? So Andy himself is a doctor of chiropractic. So I guess go ahead and lay out what in your mind, after the extensive education that you've had, is chiropractic for, and what is it not for?
So, yeah, keeping it short, James. So yeah, I'm a chiropractor, and staying within my lane the best that I can as far as scope of practice. We primarily deal with adjusting joints, adjusting the spine to balance somebody's nervous system out. So most people understand that there's two, forms of the nervous system. There's a autonomic, and then there's a volitional. So, and the autonomic is your parasympathetic, rest and digest. And then there's the fight or flight sympathetic. So most of us in today's day and age are a little bit more stressed than usual. So they're a lot in fight, or they're a lot in flight. And there's more, directions with that it can go. But so chiropractic primarily focuses on, in my opinion, rebalancing this. So bringing somebody has too much throttle, too much gas back down, or somebody who needs energy getting adjusted, it brings them back up. So everybody's kind of on this ability to find homeostasis. Again, we just tend to do that through adjusting joints. PTs can call that manipulation. Chiropractors, we call it adjusting subluxations, which are misaligned joints. So, but primarily, chiropractic is for everyone via a few contraindications. One of which can include hypermobility, someone who moves too much. But for the most part, in my vision, chiropractic, we deal with the nervous system, rebalancing that out in whatever form that person walks in the door with, if we deem it that through an adjustment, they can reestablish that normalcy or homeostasis. A lot of words, but short and sweet.
Yeah, definitely. And when should people see a chiropractor, and how often should people see a chiropractor, in your professional opinion?
The answer that you're probably gonna not like, or maybe love to hear, is it depends. So James, you're mid to late 20s, very active, take your health incredibly seriously. I would recommend for you, based on just doing no diagnostic test other than this conversation, mm-hmm. right? I would recommend for you, best would be once a week, just knowing how active you are. Mm-hmm. Me personally, I get adjusted twice a week, at least once a week minimum. Now that's also going to depend on someone's financial status, but let's say it's a level playing field. I would recommend chiropractic for someone at the very minimum once a month. And then if you increase your activity level, that can for surely go up.
Yeah. I mean, would you say that chiropractic is something that's more intentional for someone that really pushes themselves to the end range of motion outside of, let me ask that in a different way. That's a terrible way to ask that. Would you say that somebody that focuses on flexibility, focuses on range of motion in exercise and outside, would be more in need of chiropractic, or less, barring no injuries?
Barring that they have no current injuries?
Correct.
Would they benefit from that more so than somebody who does not pertain that active lifestyle? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah. Would they need to see, would they be more positioned to not see you as frequently as somebody that doesn't do range of motion training, that doesn't do flexibility, that doesn't do yoga, that doesn't unlock themselves, right? And release themselves, maybe not from a chiropractic standpoint, but somebody that doesn't stretch, that doesn't hang from a pull-up bar, that doesn't do cat-cow, that doesn't do down dog. Is someone that does all of those things better positioned to not need to come see a chiropractor? Or do people that are even that flexible still need to?
Yeah, that's a great question. I talk about this a lot with some of my colleagues. So again, the easiest, best answer is it depends. But I often convey to patients that, listen, the more that you do to deposit health into your bank, right, your health bank, the less you need to rely on me as a chiropractor, or unless you need to rely on somebody else as a primary care physician, such as an MD or a physical therapist, or a specialist. So now think of it as like a car. So like the more you drive your car, right, the more you're going to need to kind of do maintenance on it. The more oil changes, tire rotations, balances. I'm not a car guy, but you get the point. If you do those things yourself, right? If you do those things, if you wash your car, if you rotate your tires or keep them inflated, if you keep up on your oil changes, your air filters, you don't need to go to a mechanic as often. So somebody who goes out, stretches, mobilizes, gets outside, like you mentioned, does yoga, all these things to maintain flexibility, mobility, circulation, you name it. Yeah, like I would expect for them to require me less, or find a need to seek someone else out to help them, versus somebody who's a little bit more stagnant, is more sedentary lifestyle. We can dive deeper into that, but just to keep it short, yeah, somebody who does more outside of a primary care's office to help themselves. Yeah, they're stationing themselves up for a healthier lifestyle without the need of intervention.
Yeah. And what would you say chiropractic care pairs best with? Like, what is it most combined with for the best optimal outcome? Outside of just saying, hey, blanketly, James, like if you put more deposits in, more come out.
Yeah. I would say things that you can, so I'll answer that with two things. One that somebody can do themselves, and I'll mention another profession, because I kind of have two answers for that. One, nutrition, hands down. What you put in your body is going to enable for your body to do the stimulation that we give it. If you put healthy things inside your body, it's going to nourish the body. And then the stimulation that we do to provide, movement, blood flow, nervous circulation, or electricity circulation, you name it, is going to be enhanced. Two, I love it when people exercise, go to a gym. So have a coach. It doesn't need to be a personalized coach, but, we've talked on a previous podcast, how valuable just exercising is. So going to a CrossFit gym, going to, someone like yourself, right, who delves into this and accrues knowledge to help people on the movement front, right? Because if I just get a segment of your spine motioning, fantastic. But if you don't go out there and use it appropriately and build up the tissues around it, right, you're probably going to be back in my office, at a regular basis, right? Just this joint gets stuck, move it again. Don't go out there and lotion that joint. So yeah, I would say pair it with a personal trainer, coach, a gym, an exercise, whether it looks like CrossFit or something else, that kind of a setting.
Okay, word. Well, there you have it. Everything about chiropractors to start. And this was not sponsored by chiropractic medicine. This is something I think a lot of people need to understand, because I think that a lot of people, at least in my life, in different professions, look at chiropractors in some ways like PTs look at MDs, or MDs look at or here's even a better one, registered dietitians, and the way that they look at nutritionists. Like there's a lot of this isn't good. Well, again, the answer with all this, in my opinion, is it depends on what the hell you're talking about, right? Not always a person, but what's the question? Ask better questions, you're going to get better answers. So hope this is helpful, guys, and we're going to bounce. See you next time.